wanted to start a new series where I share some of the other things I do besides knitting and crocheting. I know that mainly this is knitting and crocheting, and honestly that is what I do the most of for sure. But every once in a while there's something a little different that I do, whether it be craft related or hiking or nature related, just different things. I thought it might be a fun series to take you guys along with me as I do these different things. Don't worry, there's going to be lots more knitting and crochet content, but I really wanted to document these things. I'm going to be doing some embroidery and also some macrame. I have to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this macrame because I don't really have anything to work on, like a hanging bar or anything to do this macrame piece. I've wanted to do it for so long, but that is really the main reason why I've been putting it off. So I would love for you guys to join me as I work on a couple of different projects in the next week or so. I might even add in a few hiking clips. I think we're going to go for a hike today, so I'll bring you guys along. I think I've showed you this hiking spot before, but it's definitely one of our favorite trails to go on. Much later in the day and we're ready to start on this first project. I'm going to start, I think, with the embroidery. I want to embroider a little sweatshirt for my friend. I've done a little bit of embroidery in the past, not a lot, but I did find a tutorial on YouTube to help me with this project. So I'm watching these YouTube tutorials and they're not really tutorials. They're really just you watching someone embroider. So I think I may have to just figure this out myself. I may have to find a picture of a crocus and then just transfer that picture onto the sweatshirt where I want it to go, or I may just have to freehand it if I don't have like an erasable fabric marker. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm not super familiar with embroidery stitches or really very familiar at all, maybe just like a couple that I know, but I know there's lots of different ones. And so I want to use one that will look really good for a crocus, but I'll show you what I got from Amazon. I got this sweatshirt. It seems really soft and everything, and I really like the fabric, so I think it's nice. I'll make sure to link this down below if you're interested, but it's just a plain gray sweatshirt and it doesn't even have like a brand or anything like that. I also need to get some embroidery floss because I got rid of almost all my embroidery floss when we moved out here. I gave it to my mom, most of it. So I ended up getting several colors. I'm not quite sure what colors I want to use yet. I'm gonna look up the crocus flower and just see its natural color, and we'll see if I want to keep it closer to that or kind of make it a little bit more colorful. I'm not sure. So let's look up some pictures of some crocus flowers. The majority of the pictures I found were purple and yellow. That seems to be the most common. I did want to check out some of the other colors though. This blue is really pretty, and also this red. Also be sure to link the embroidery tutorial that I found down below. So if you're interested in anything like that, you can just click that link below. I think what I'm gonna do is practice on another piece of fabric first so I don't, you know, kind of mess up on the sweatshirt. That way I sort of have an idea of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna grab some scrap fabric and get going. Wow. Do you see this entire pile of thread here? It's hilarious. Okay, y'all, it is quite a bit later. It's more than 2 months later, and I have put this project down for a long time just because I had so much going on, but I'm finally ready to get going on it, and I really want to have this finished and to my friend very soon. I even had to remind myself of the stitches that I was going to use. I did of course do some practice. I've decided on this stitch here, which is the stem stitch. I just think it looks really nice. And then I think for the petals of the crocus, I'm going to do the fishbone stitch. I'm still trying to decide on where I want to place this on the sweatshirt. I do love around the neckline. I think that's really pretty. Of course, if I did that, I'd make really small ones. And then of course, there's just like over to the side, like a lot of logos and things are. It's really hard to decide. So of course, this is the sweatshirt that I got from Amazon. It's super soft and I really like it. I think it would be super cute to be around the neckline here. I just don't know if that style would be the style that my friend would like. Of course, I could just do here. I could also do on the sleeve and just have it be kind of a little something extra on the sleeve. I'm not sure. Because this is kind of like an oversized fit of a sweatshirt, I just don't know that a tiny little thing up here in the side, I feel like it might look kind of funny just because I feel like it would look out of place. So I don't know. I may do around the neckline, or if I did just a couple of them around the neckline here, I'm just not sure. So I'm still deciding on that. I'm going to do a little bit more practice today and just see what I can get done and see if I'm happy with the flower, the way that it looks. Oh my goodness, you guys, even the footage in this of us hiking was, of course, when it was not fall, it was still summer, and now all the trees are turning yellow and everything is cooling off. I'm definitely excited to finish this for my friend, and I cannot wait to get started. So let's go ahead and see what we can figure out. I think that I'm going to end up going with around the collar. Just don't know how big that I want these to be. I definitely need to draw it out first, but I think I might only have white fabric pencil, so I'm gonna have to see about that because I definitely think I need to draw this out first. I don't trust myself with embroidery yet at this point to just freehand it, but I could do pencil. I just don't know if that would come out in washing if it needed to, if for some reason the embroidery thread did not cover it up. Let's go ahead and see what we think about the placement here on the neck. I'm very nervous to draw anything on here, but I might just have to go for it. Here we go. Okay, I think I'm going to start out by just making a line around it. Follow the neckline here. Maybe 5 would be a good amount. Mind if they're not exact as far as how far away they are. Like this one's closer definitely to the side here because I don't mind them looking a teeny bit random. It'll look more handmade and less machine made. So I think that will be cute. Here we just have like a really faint line where I'm putting the stems, and then I'll do the leaves off of that. Now in the picture it only shows them to one side. I'm gonna have to look at some other images and see what looks more natural, but I think this is a good placement so far. I may go ahead and start with the green, then we'll draw in the flowers after that, or we may just freehand them with the embroidery thread. We'll see. Been using just 2 strands. Of course, if you're familiar with embroidery, then I'm sure you already know this, but I think there are 6 strands, and I'm just going to be using 2 of them. Or actually, no, you know what? Let's use 3 of them. And also, we may double up, so it would end up being 6 anyway, but I think that will work really well because I certainly want you to be able to see it. I'm going to start with the far right leaf. We're going to be doing the stem stitch. You're just going to bump it a little bit to the left. Make sure I don't get it caught over here. I'm definitely going to make sure that I go right on top of that pencil line so that you do not see it. Maybe we'll do one more. And then that will be the end of that leaf. And then I think we'll just come right back down. I want it to look nice on the back side as well. So we'll see what this looks like. So far it's looking pretty good on the back side. just have to make sure that I pull, because mine are doubled, I have to make sure they don't get caught, right? And then we will keep going up. So far, I think it's looking really good. I'm happy with how the leaves are looking. They're all a little bit different. This one started to go a little bit crazy. You can see how my stem stitch started to kind of go to the side instead of stay straight up, but I still think it's gonna be okay. So we're gonna go with it and now start the flower part. I think I've actually changed my mind. I think I'm going to do the leaves, all of the leaves first, so all the way around the neck, and then I will go back and do the flower part of the crocus. I think that way I'll just have all of the leaves set in place, and I think it'll help me feel like I've gotten a little bit more accomplished. So let's go ahead and finish out all the leaves. I've gotten everything I'm going to get done today. I think I'm pretty happy with everything, the way that it turned out. They're not all exactly the same. They're not the same spacing, but I think they look similar enough that it's going to look really cute. These, of course, are a little bit more open as I was getting towards the end, but I really think that's fine. It almost even looks like a progression of it being more open and then less open. So overall, I'm super happy with it. The pencil was definitely the way to go. I may go in and add a little bit more. That's where the flower is going to be. So that's where I'm going to have it come out. Here you can see a little bit better. I'm losing the light today. It's late in the afternoon, and this is just a stem stitch. It worked really well. I definitely got better at it as the time went on. It was also a little bit tricky with this sweatshirt material, just because it didn't want to nudge over to the left, which is what it's supposed to do to give the effect that you want. But overall, I'm super happy with it. I think it looks really good. Even the underside, I think, looks really nice and neat. So I'm happy with the way that that turned out as well. I just stitched around 3 times to finish and then fastened off here. Tomorrow I will get to the flowers and I will show you guys that part. Okay, so I wanted to show you what I've gotten so far. It isn't a perfect fishbone, but I think it's gonna do just fine. I think that it looks cute, and hopefully I'll just get better as we go along. That's the first part of the crocus flower, and then I'm gonna add in kind of the shading, which is gonna be in this darker purple that I accidentally started with. So we're just gonna add that in behind these petals here. So that'll give it a little bit more dimension, and I think it's gonna end up being really cute. I'm excited. I was so nervous to start on the flower part just because I'm just so new to embroidery, but I think it turned out pretty good. Let's keep going. So we have officially made it through every season. We were in July when we started this project. We went through fall, and now we are in winter, and it is actually snowing outside currently. This project has taken me so long. You know, I think the reason why is just because I'm not super familiar with embroidery, and sometimes when you are like not familiar with something and you know you have to watch a video or you have to kind of practice or learn some things, it just takes you longer to complete it. So thankfully, my friend who I'm making this for lives in a place where it does not get super cold until later on, and so I'm hoping that she'll have plenty of time to wear this. But this is the progress that I've made. The only thing I want to add to it still is that little bit of yellow in the center of the crocus. I wanted to add in just a little something extra there in the middle. I think that will add, you know, a fun little detail to it. And then I think I'm going to be all finished. I know that that part is not going to take long. I think I'll probably just do just a real simple embroidery stitch, kind of a star shape. I think that's going to be my plan. So thank you guys for hanging with me as we went through the months here and now have finally gotten to the point point where I'm going to finish this thing. So let's go ahead and finish it. So I've got two options here. I think that I like this one right here just because it looks a little more dainty. This one's a little bulkier. This one is 2 strands of embroidery floss and then just doubled with a knot in the end. And then this one is just 1 strand, so it's doubled as well. So it's really just 2 strands. And then I just tie a knot in the end here so that it has a nice end right here on the inside. But I think I'm going to go with this.